I think we're prepared. Oh, here we are, live streaming to social media. And we are here on day, I keep forgetting what day it is. We've
Seven. We
day,
are at 70%. 70. That's amazing to me. We have Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday left. And whatever, like, so I'm just sticking with this. My girlfriend said she saw an interview with an Olympic athlete, and that woman said that when you feel like your body can't do any more, there's 30% left in the tank. Well,
mhm.
I still feel like I got stuff in the tank and I'm at 70%. So this is awesome. And we're on day 7.
I know that, and if anybody happens on this video, we're talking about our fasting adventure. It's a 10-day fasting adventure. We're on day 7, and we're sharing each day our physical, emotional, and spiritual, I don't know,
Like our
uh,
check-in.
art. Yeah. Our data, our analytic data, which we are not keeping any. I'm not even weighing myself or anything. But I'll tell you
Yeah.
what, I feel like I don't feel like I'm getting the results that I anticipated at all. And maybe it's just my body, I need more of it. And maybe I really am insulin resistant, but I don't know how I could be because
Well,
I'm so healthy. I mean, I really, but anyway,
well, what results were you hoping for that you're not getting?
to for my closed fit, it's all I
Got
care
it.
about. Just by the way, I don't care about autophagy or health or
Well, because
brain.
that's what I was gonna
brain
say. There's so much happening on the inside that we
just
can't see.
want my closed fit. Yeah. I mean, normally, like when I would do this, even last year, I was regularly fasting, and
Hmm.
I would do a 6-day fast and lose, like, I'd be like, oh my God, I feel great. Like I don't know exactly how much weight because a lot of that turns out to be water weight.
Yeah.
But it's for me, it's not like about weight, it's about how I feel.
Hmm. And how has that shifted?
I've not been that jolly, as you've noticed. I've been a
Yeah.
little irritable. This has not been my best ride.
Well, and I'm wondering how much of that possibly has to do with it being public. Because this is also the public part is the new part
The public
for
part is
you.
the painful part. We don't we don't always get on and talk. Like when I used to see people do this a few years ago, I think, remember when this was like totally not the norm? Now it's normal. Now everyone gets on and talks about everything. So, but we're doing this for you. I mean, truly, anyway. Okay, so physically, I still don't feel. I had so much energy today, though. I had a
Mhm.
killer workout at the gym. I did legs, 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 and I really pushed it, and that was great. And I went for a little romp around the muddy lake pond thing. And I've had a lot of energy and felt, I'm like, I like it on those days where I feel, where I say out loud, my gosh, I just feel so good.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
It's different. And that's how I felt today. That is my normal. Like to me, that's how you should feel all the time, where you're just like, I don't know why, but I feel like I have so much energy. What should I do with it? You
Yeah.
know what I mean? What about
Hmm.
you? I
Well,
know.
I just want to comment because one of the things I saw this, um, there was something on this woman, and I mentioned her to you earlier, but her name's Joan. She's 75. She started her fitness journey at like 73. And the cut on her biceps was like, damn, girl. So one of the things that came to mind for me, because I haven't been doing strength training, and that was a huge part of my life is remember from the video, he talks about that we increase our body's ability to build muscle. And so we get muscle results more quickly.
Even if, do you know, I have seen pictures of people who fast and
Hmm.
then do carnivore. Fat, that's all they eat is meat. and then they fast.
Hmm.
And without even working out, their bodies are muscular because
What?
meat, yeah, because look, think about it. Think about what is inside of meat:
Okay.
collagen, protein, everything that makes up
Muscle.
meat, a cow or whatever you're eating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so that's been an
Looking for
encouragement
Joan.
to me.
What's
Wait,
her
what are you
name?
doing?
Joan who? I'll look her
Dang
up
it.
later.
Yeah, I'll show her to you.
Okay.
But now you've got me so curious. I'm wanting to look her up myself. But anyway, so last night I went to bed much later than normal. Like I'm a total early bird. So I went to bed around 10 or 10:30. I read myself to sleep and then I slept a long time and I was really happy about that. So I slept till 7:30. Oh, and I also did a Epsom salt bath before I went to sleep. So that might have helped me just, So, and then I was sluggish when I woke up. Not sluggish like I just didn't feel like exercising. And normally I exercise when I don't feel like exercising. But what I told myself I would do is work out throughout the day, right? Just like let it build. So I got about 5,000 steps before my husband had a medical procedure. I got about 5,000 steps in before I took him to the hospital. And then the way my day went, there were no breaks before the hospital called and said, pick up your husband. And by the time I got him, got all the food he needs that he's able to eat right now, and got home, it was already almost 4 o'clock and I took a little nap before so that's why when you and I'm like marching in place trying to get the dang steps in. So I'm going to go for a walk after this and 4,000 steps is easy peasy. But that's all I did for my workout. Oh, my, this is not something I've shared before, but my bowels seem to be doing this new clean out. There's barely anything in there, but something's churning and um, exiting my body. And I'm like, this is super interesting on day 7. But I was encouraged by that somehow. I don't know what it means. Energetically, like, well, you see, I just, for the most part, I did all the things that I committed to do today, other than get my 10,000 steps in by now. And yeah, our bodies are just like these amazing gifts. So, for the most part, physically, I'm really pleased, that I'm pleased for how it's working out. And I haven't done any kind of weighing or any kind of measuring, but that was the other thing. My husband said, I think you're losing your booty. Now, just so you know, I have a super cute butt, like a really good butt. And I'm like, oh, I don't want to lose my booty. So I got excited too, thinking about, okay, well, I'm in the best condition to build the muscle. So I'm all about squats and lunges so I can get my cute butt back.
I love that you shared that. I love the things that you share so just openly. How's your
Thank you.
husband, by the way? I'm sorry I didn't think to ask. I did think of it earlier, but I didn't do it.
He's doing well. He's sleeping right now, and it's all good. And yeah, if there's any, there's nothing more to share right now, but thankfully, and my husband, I think he's like a beast. He was on anesthesia. He woke up twice during it. He's like, what the heck?
Oh man,
And
that's
then
not good.
And then they're telling him, okay, well, you're not going to be able to walk. You're not going to be able to do all this. And he's like, the heck, I'm not. And, he's getting out of the wheelchair and then he stands on the curb with one foot and he's like balanced. I think the little nurse was about to lose her ever loving
Oh
mind.
my goodness. Yeah. Waking up twice under
I
anesthesia.
know. I
That,
know. So
that's
wild.
something that tells you something about
But
him.
check this out. I think that somehow he's inspired because he's like, well, I had to fast for this. And I ended up fasting the whole day, which was not part of what he needed to do. And then he's all, babe, I think I'll wait till dinner time because that will be a 48-hour fast for me. And I was like,
This is the guy that was telling you it was kind of crazy, right? You have converted him with your inspiration.
well, not quite, but I'm going to celebrate the little win. And 48 hours is a long time. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's definitely the first 48 hours. I would say for me, always day 2 and 3 are hard.
Day one is hard for me, just like, every time I run, and I don't know why, but consistently, the first mile is the hardest for me. And then my body gets in a rhythm. And some people don't have that experience, but mine is like that first mile is like, oh, do I have to do this? And then I
Yeah,
get
I
through
think
it.
that's for sure true. I don't know why day one just never, I don't ever even think about it. It's just, I guess I have so much food or in me or something. Okay, so emotionally, how are you?
Emotionally, so here's a curious thing. I feel like right now I feel good emotionally. But here's something I'm curious about, I'm kind of excited because I think I'm on to myself a little bit. Michelle, I haven't meditated in 2 days. And you know that one of the things I've said is, hey, the time to just get quiet. Now I've taken baths for 2 days in the dark, just quiet, not any kind of phone or music or anything like that. So it's not that I haven't done anything, but I'm like, now this is curious, Lisa Michelle. What's going on here? What are and I don't know exactly what it is. And then every week for my mastermind, I do an evaluation. And I think I kept postponing it. So I did it today. And there's more that I want to do for my own self in terms of evaluating different things in my business. Um, but somehow that all seems related. And I'm wondering if there's some emotions I'm avoiding. So,
Impossible. Maybe you're just in alpha state all the time. Like, do you know what alpha state
I
is?
was just going to ask you to tell me.
You know what the different brain waves, how like waking
Oh,
is beta, and then when you meditate, you go into alpha and you can go into theta. Yeah.
yes, yes. I actually, okay,
Because of
but I
fast,
don't think so.
I was just kind of joking.
Yes. And so anyway, but it's just become a little bit of a pattern for me that if I'm not meditating, there's something under there for me to investigate. So this isn't the first time I've detected that, but anyway. And the only reason I'm sharing all the details is because of my commitment for full disclosure, right? Because
Yeah, I
I've got
forgot about
super
that.
high energy. I come on, I see your face, I get excited every time. It's so funny. I think I'm at
You and
some
the
point
rest of the world, it's a common reaction. That's why I have so many followers.
every time we
That's
talk,
why
I
I'm so highly monetized.
I think there's some big, wide,
I know
image of
it's like
me.
connection. It really is. It really is a game changer, people of the world. It just to have to know you have something, some accountability and something to look forward with that connection. You're
Yeah.
not like fighting your battles alone. So go ahead. I didn't mean to.
No, 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 that's total. But and so because I'm high energy already, because I get so excited in Michelle's presence, like it's legit. I get, we come on and I'm like, Michelle. And so I also want to say, yes, and I'm not some energetic bunny, robot. I think I was thinking Energizer Bunny. I'm a real human with real struggles and curiosity about what I'm up to and where
Yeah. It's
so
the curiosity about ourselves. That's what we're really exploring in
mhm.
this. and doing that with someone else is helpful, especially someone like we don't really know each other that well. Actually, we really didn't meet that long ago.
No.
So we're learning about ourselves and each other and another human being's experience in the same thing. It's kind of like
Yeah.
going to Girl Scout camp.
I loved when you posted the Girl Scout song. And
Oh my God, that song just came to my mind when I was writing that email. I was like, I couldn't, now I kept hearing it in my, do you remember that? I love Girl
I
Scout.
never made it to Girl Scouts. I was a brownie, but that's it.
I
But
love,
anyway, so did you share you
that was
shared
the only way I
physical?
survived my family. My emotional is good today. I'm good. I'm a little, not so perky right now, but I
Mhm.
had a very, very good day. Very excited about everything, very optimistic in a realistic sort of way. I'm feeling very, very much an equilibrium
Mhm.
and clarity. I think they said something about clarity will
They
come on
absolutely
day
did.
7.
They absolutely
Well,
did.
that is a really nice thing because then you know what to do next. No, I
Yes.
think there is a mental clarity though, where initially there are times and you forget. It's like when you're healthy and
Mhm.
then you get sick, you forget how great it is to be healthy.
Yes.
Like that, like I just feel natural. It's a natural thing to feel happy and calm, like not crazy, just
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
um that's kind of a healthy place to be where you kind of know what to do and the confidence to do it. um I feel good. And
I feel good.
I
Dun,
know I
dun,
actually
dun, dun.
played some music today, which I haven't done for a long time. I usually have been so serious about, you know, not podcasts, but whatever it is I listen to, YouTube
Mhm.
and Audible and stuff. So I was just like listening to music for fun. That was fun.
I love it. I too, I have to be real intentional to put on music because I'm so podcast, books, and constantly learning. But I want to loop back around real fast because there's one thing I have absolutely not been able to stand this entire fast. I don't know if it started on day 1, 2, or 3. I am burping like it feels like a lot, but that's not the thing I hate. I have cotton mouth. Like, yeah,
Are you drinking a lot of water? You are. You're drinking.
one thing that has helped me drink as much as I am is because I can't stand it. So I constantly am drinking. Like, I mean, like there's never a
I,
time that there's not
I
a water
think
in my
it's
hand.
gotta be, what about salt? Are you putting
I've
salt?
taken a dab of salt. I've been doing that every day, probably since day 5, 6, and 7. So the last 3 days, I mean, like a pinch of salt, but
You
I let it
probably need
sit on my
more.
tongue and then I drink down the water.
Okay, well, maybe you should look up how much salt you should be taking because
Well,
maybe you
yeah,
need
it said
more.
like a
But it
pinch.
could it could totally be detox because
Yeah.
in your mouth is where you really like on your tongue and stuff. It's where, um, yeah.
And then there's this other thing that happens to me where
Are you
I
chewing
kind
gum or anything like that?
no way that then it wouldn't be a clean fast.
Yeah.
My husband said, "Honey, would you like a piece of gum?" I'm like, "No, anathema, that's not clean."
Yeah,
Dirty,
you've
dirty,
been very good. You make me feel like a cheater
dirty.
because I had broth and now I was thinking I'm going to have more tonight because now it was okay. It wasn't so bad. Maybe I won't now.
But the other thing, and I wonder if you've had anything like this, like it's how I imagine anxiety, but it's almost it feels physical, like I'm getting out of breath. But then I
Yeah.
check my pulse and I'm
Yeah.
like totally normal.
I
So,
really think it's electrolytes
okay. So,
because yeah, I know I mean, I know he says in that video you probably don't need them because it's stored in your body, but I've read many times that you need salt and magnesium.
Well, I do have like I had a girlfriend that sold, oh, it starts with an I. But anyway, there's like these little electrolyte packets,
Yeah.
and I think I might have one of those. So I'm gonna look because those are the two discomforts that I'm like,
Yeah,
I
you
don't
should.
like.
Yeah, and I used to when I
And I
was
have powder magnesium, so I could do that.
that I take like I guess I've taken it maybe twice during this fast, but if I start getting heart palpitations at night, I know I need magnesium and salt.
Okay.
And and then because I don't know what's going on in the body, but for sure that has helped me.
Well, I tend
And
to
we are
be.
not physicians, if you guys can't tell. We have
We
no idea
don't know
what
what we're talking about.
we have
We're just
learned
sharing our
from
experience.
Google. Dr. Indian, lovely Indian man, and the French man, just cute men we meet on YouTube.
But
If you're
honestly, I
cheerful,
felt like I would.
I listen to you.
One of
Sorry.
the things about me, Michelle, is I tend to be very strict on whatever it is I'm up to.
Really?
hmm Which is funny because I'm such a little, rule breaker and whatever. But if I commit to something, I get very, uh, uh, uh. So when I
What
did the
is that?
salt, I was like, I felt like, oh no, I broke a clean fast. And then our Indian doctor recommended salt. So I haven't taken a vitamin. I've done none of my supplements, nothing. I'm like, just trust the body.
Yeah.
And so I'll do the magnesium.
There's
But
value in that in trust that just the trust. I really get what you're saying. I think you almost have to go to that extreme in order to choose what you're gonna how you're gonna alter that. But like you said, the reason broth is okay because guess what is in that? Salt,
yes.
magnesium, minerals, everything you need. That's why it's always recommended to break a fast with broth.
I know our doctor said make it yourself, don't buy it, but I did buy it for breaking the fast. And do you want to share spiritually?
No, no,
Okay.
no, I'm kidding. Sorry. I'm just spiritually, I've had a breakthrough. Pretty sure I'm enlightened. No, I feel great. I really do feel very integrated and very, I'm feeling a little excited because I don't know. I think more than anything, where I am right now is just like superwoman, super
Yes.
confident. I'm feeling very confident in my reason for being on earth for sure.
Ah,
And I really am. I mean, that is a real thing. So when
yeah,
I
no, I know it
was this
is.
morning, I mean, I know it sounds so cliche, but when I was at the gym this morning, when I'm listening to my books or whatever I choose to listen to, it's my prerogative. I
You keep making me want to sing songs. What's the
it's
prerogative song?
just it's just we want to make the whole world sing songs. It
Yeah.
is just I just know who I am. Like I really, and I'm not ashamed of it. I feel like this is probably one of the like the first time in my life that I don't know, I'm just so ready to fulfill everything that I'm really here for. Doesn't that sound cliche?
No,
It,
not to me. It doesn't.
of
It
course not to
sounds
you.
inspiring
You're
and
like
it's
you're like the friend I had. You remind me of this girl. Oh my God. How I must have been like 9. Yeah. Okay. So just keep being nice.
I'm not always nice.
I'm joking. That is totally just being silly. But yeah. I
So
feel very, very good. Very good. Very good.
I am feeling like I'm not being tongue in cheek, having certain breakthroughs. And one of the things that you don't even know about me, Michelle, is a big, bold, black preacher lives inside of me. And
I think
I,
everybody knows that. I think you might be trying to hide something that the whole world has already kind of picked up on.
you mean
Everybody
he's
knows my
visible?
oh my God.
And I
This is better
am,
than drinking and eating chips, by the way.
it absolutely is. Okay, so I'm also an incredible teacher. I'm a gifted teacher, especially when it comes to the Bible. But of late, I have, without a conscious awareness of it, sunk into um, just fear has been like a cap on my life. And I haven't even, I've recognized it some, I've had conversations with my hubby about it, but it's also like I'm just kind of existing in that up until very recently. And during our fast, I mean, that recent. So
Wow.
I am like, okay, when you talk about living your purpose, Michelle, I'm like, I can risk it all. I will always be provided for. I have everything I need, all the way to death,
Yeah.
because death results in resurrection.
Yeah.
So,
We
like the
we figured that out earlier today.
yes, and we see it in all these things in nature, right? It's literally the way of the world, the design.
Mhm.
So, and I noticed today, I went to the grocery store, I told you, and I was just emitting so much love and belief for every person there. And it was like, it was just genuine. It was inside of me. And I'm like, and I really do believe love wins and love is the answer. And I get to be an embodiment of love. But
Yes.
the trust that God works through me, that I don't have to have it figured out. So what you guys don't know is I have woken up most of my adult life feeling like I'm behind. The, I just opened my damn eyes and I'm already like, so I've lived on a very hustly treadmill. And I think I lived with the belief that I just had to prove my worth, that
Mhm.
I had to prove that I mattered enough to exist. And now I know that I matter enough to exist. I know that what I contribute to the world is needed and wanted. And I too feel like really alive, but not in a formulaic way, right?
Yeah.
Like I feel a lot. I went through all kinds of formulas in my own spiritual existence. And none of that was wasted. It all got to go into the compost, but I think I'm experiencing the expression of a genuine live oak tree. And that doesn't mean I don't have ups and downs. It just means I trust the whole process. And
Look at the tree behind you. So you just blow in the wind, you go through all the seasons,
all
uh,
the seasons.
and seasons are death
Yeah.
because death is not what we think of as death. It's transformation and, like you said, resurrection, and it's a different version. And like all of our cells that died. So it's
That's
kind of,
what's happening in our bodies.
I know. Did you just realize that?
No, but I realized it
I know,
afresh with a new
I know.
vigor.
I'm teasing you. I'm totally teasing you.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's beautiful. Hey,
And yes,
just well, you go ahead and finish your thought, and then I'll
no, no, no. I'm good.
do you have like a favorite? I happen to have a favorite Black preacher, and I'm wondering if you do.
So there was a man, and I don't remember his name. I want to say he preached at McCormick Baptist Church in LA. And on Mother's Day, because when I was married and my kids were small, I would have my family. That was the day that was about Lisa, right? And that was what I wanted to do. Take me. I'm a huge fan of Black churches. And this is why. Maybe I am just, I'm painting with a broad brush. So, but my experience, I'll just speak to my experience of Black churches, is the preacher's not just speaking at the congregation, it is a conversation. And so I go to these churches where I just stand out because I'm talking back to the preacher and I just do it. But in a Black church, it's just normal, you know?
That's awesome. I mean, is that where you go now?
No, I haven't found there's not, well, I don't know. I can't say there's not a good Black church close to me, but I don't know of one. So I go to a church where I stand out like a sore thumb, like,
I think
she's here again.
Yeah, you might stand out in any church. I mean, if you're in a Black church and you are white,
no, I would stand out in that way, but
I know
the way that it's
get it. I understand.
So, but I also like I do like T.D. Jakes. Am I okay? And then there's another guy,
Did you say Blake?
Jakes.
Oh, Jakes. Okay.
And then there's another guy that his wife, he's since passed away, and I can't remember his name right now, but I do know, I've only listened to a couple of his sermons, but there's certain people that the life of the message lives in you and makes you want to live bigger than, like, to our future selves. So, yeah.
Were you saying, how old were you? Weren't you saying that when you were a child, you went to this church?
No. When I was a child, though, that was a Black church too. And they sent the Joy Bus. And I didn't grow up in any kind of Christian home, but the Joy Bus would come. And, back then the family's like, yeah, get on the bus, leave for a couple hours, let them bring you back. And so I did.
Sounds completely reasonable to me.
That was in Fort Worth, Texas.
So it was like it was a mission that they were sending the Joy Bus out for the kids. Yeah. Okay, that is amazing. So when you say Black church, is that like a gospel inspired church, or is that
I don't know. All I'm saying, and forgive me for, I don't know. In our day and age, I could get crucified as a racist or something. But
I know. Quit being a racist on our show. This is her check-in.
But regardless, all I mean is all the people, or the majority, were Black, and it was a Black preacher who preached to me and allowed me to preach back. And we had a conversation throughout the service, me and the others. And it just feels like that's more legit.
Was the service on the bus? Did you guys go to the church?
No, they took us to a real church.
Okay.
And it was a great experience. But what I was saying is, when my children were small, when I was a mom with children, I would ask them on Mother's Day, because we lived in Orange County, and we go to LA, and that McCormick Baptist Church is what I think it was called. And one day I met Stevie Wonder, that they took me. Then we went out to Waffles and Chicken or whatever, and Stevie Wonder was there, and I got.
Oh my God. That's amazing. He had come to the church?
No, to the Chicken and Waffles.
Oh my God. I thought it was troublesome living in my own mind. I can't
Do you
imagine.
know that we said today was going to be our shortest one and
I
it's
know,
our
dude, I was
longest?
supposed to be on Grant Cardone investment call, but it doesn't matter. I didn't invest that much money. But listen, I just want to say something about this um, church thing, because I don't know, it has everything to do with fasting, but something you said when I was a child, um, I was raised, my mother was, I don't even know what she would be called now, but she was off the rails then.
Okay.
I had to hide her under the bed, basically, in my mind. Like she was a good mother in most respects, but she was like already knew about like all this. She was very new agey, and
Okay.
she knew about all this stuff we're talking about fasting. She would have known all this. She
Oh,
knew all
wow.
herbs and holistic everything, and although she still fed us a bunch of crap, but in terms of like
Makes no sense.
she wanted to be a medical doctor, okay,
Okay.
but they wouldn't allow women. She was in Arizona and there was no provision for that. They weren't allowed to. So she signed up for vet school, and then they wouldn't allow the women into like the husbandry program because it was about intercourse with animals. So it was a different time. So she studied on her own all of these medical things. Like she knew
Okay.
everything about the body. But she was totally into all this new age stuff. So, like when I learned to meditate when I was 8. She took us to a meditation center, and I went.
That's cool.
Okay, well, I went through the transcendental meditation, which was just a thing program, and
Okay.
from that day on, I pretty much meditated every day of my life. Like I've never not done that. But because all I wanted was to be normal. And all I wanted was to go to
Oh,
church every Sunday like my friends did.
oh,
So what I started doing was spending the night on Saturday night with different friends so I could go to church with them on Sunday morning. And I would go to like the Baptist church and the Catholic church. And then my mom was like, you are really into this church thing. So she took me and my little sister. My other brothers and sisters were not interested. They were too old or whatever. And we would go to a different church for a month at a time. So I grew up and one of my aunts was a nun. So we would go to the Christian Science Church for a month. Then we would go to the Baptist Church for a month. Then I had no idea how many versions of Christianity there
yeah.
were. We went to the
So
Anglican,
many
we
splits.
went to the Methodist, we went to the everything under the sun. We went to
Wow.
Catholic church in the summers. We would stay with my aunt in Arizona, and it was my favorite time because we got to go to the same church for the whole summer. We didn't have to
Wow.
switch, and it was the Catholic church, and I would go to Latin mass. I'd go to like 2 services because I could go to because Latin mass was like a musical. It was like a whole production. It's like I want to be like that. It was like the sound.
Oh,
And so the reason I mention this is that I got a world religions education basically because I started studying and
yeah.
comparing what is
That's
the difference, what are the similarities, where does this one go off the rails, like why are those people doing that? But what I loved, maybe even more than mass, were the gospel churches.
ah,
And it was because I felt like we were living the gospel, like we were moving with our body. It was like you didn't have to sit still and behave and like, ta-da, like become perfect or
mm,
anything. You
yeah,
just,
yeah, yeah.
it was like, yeah, I mean, it was like, oh, it was just dancing and singing. and the spirit and yeah, so I can't believe we're talking about this live. We should really go. I'm gonna go delete this. That was the story of my life. And today I fast. Today I fasted for 7 days, and I think it's a natural high. I feel like we could easily be like having happy hour.
Well, it does feel like happy hour already.
Your brain on fasting is like this. Okay. Anyway,
good times.
anything else you want to share? That's my inappropriate
No,
story.
I think we've been all over the map and I think we're good.
Seriously, anybody that ever gets to this point in this video, give it a go because it is really good for you.
Yeah, and I would just say, and do it under a doctor's care. I mean, it's a long period of time. And that's more just like, we're not telling you what to do because we're not medical professionals, but
yeah, I didn't really mean that. Don't do this at home. Do it in a hospital with a mask on.
Stop. You're gonna kill me.
I'm sorry. I just feel so good. Ooh, my lights went out. See,
well, I guess that's the time.
Ciao. Okay, if you're gonna go for a walk,
I'm gonna call you.
Call me. Okay, bye.
Bye.